Hi, I'm Aidan Knight. I'm from Victoria, BC, and you're watching Anchor Shop TV.
Knitting something nice for you. I guess I always should. Measure twice with eyes and wood. I push the needle.
We were originally supposed to come out here in March, but Hannah asked us to come and do the show. And when Hannah asks something, you don't say no. I'm kidding. No, it's Hannah and I we did a bicycle tour where we toured by bicycle in BC, and it was super fun. And we're just looking for another opportunity to play together again. It seems more difficult in terms of the exertion that's involved in actually physically riding a bike to places, but I found personally for me, and I think actually Hannah and I were maybe the leaders of the pack, the fastest bike riders, like the most competitive of all the people. We did the tours with Said the Whale and with Jeremy Fisher and Hannah and myself. The actual bike riding part of it, I think I felt more energized to play shows instead of sitting in a van for 8 hours. Making Small Reveal, it didn't seem so much of a conscious effort that I had to. I don't know how I'd phrase it. Small Reveal sort of came about in this really weird way where we thought that we were going to go and to sort of have this sort of Bon Iver kind of experience of recording in the woods. And what ended up happening is I thought that there was going to be all these song ideas, and we were just going to make this record over this 1 week. And we ended up just getting together and writing a whole lot between the five of us. And the experience was, it seemed more fulfilling to work on ideas that had more fingers in the pot.
How can I run with?
It's nice to get away from computers and everyone sort of checks up on themselves a lot, and being out there and being more of in a smaller community, because it was an isolated sort of island was one thing. I mean, we didn't do everything in this cabin. I think making an album, for us it takes a whole year to make a record altogether, and so we started there and then we moved into all these other different spaces. Sometimes an idea for a song or a way that we're recording something I think a lot of the time I end up trying to chase an idea that I feel is new or feels really personal. So I'm always looking to, experience those kinds of ideas and that kind of creativity all the time. So it won't feel as new to me to make something in the same way. So, but I wouldn't turn my back on that kind of experience because if something works, then why wouldn't you do it? You wouldn't do it again. I don't feel like an elitist that I have to do something new and crazy and totally different every time. The album title is it's kind of confusing, and it's not really apparent right away, which I like. I like that it can mean a lot of different things. To me, it means that at the end of making all this music, we were all trying to come up with a catch-all title to put on this record. Dave and I were actually talking the most about it, and we feel like we were just as much influenced by watching really great movies, and I love watching movies, and I love watching movies by myself, and I like watching them with other people and in the theater or at my house. And Dave had who had said it? I think it was maybe Ebert had said something about a certain string of movies that included Moonrise Kingdom, and talking about this. What was the term? I should have had this prepared. The term is mono aware, I think is. I'm not sure if that's how it's pronounced, but it's similar to nostalgia, but it's this idea of sort of like fleeting youth and this and just this sort of emotion behind it, which we thought wasn't quite perfect, but was kind of a cool idea. And then right at that exact same time, I watched this amazing, what was it called? A speech by this screenwriter, Charlie Kaufman, and he was talking about the work of screenwriters and what creativity and what creating art is to him. And one of these lines that really stuck out to me was talking about revealing an uncomfortable part of yourself, even when it makes loving you impossible. And he said a lot of things better than I could ever say them, and I wanted to include something like that. And this idea of revealing something of yourself, I thought was kind of interesting. And
So I ate peaches in
a big difference between going to shows now is, and I've wondered this about filmmakers, is when you are involved in making something and you understand, or magicians. I imagine a magician going to this sort of like illusion show, and they understand how things are done. I wonder if it ruins the show for them, or if they have a different level of enjoyment because they can appreciate the sort of craft and artistry of things. I think that I appreciate different things now than what I appreciated when I was 16. Going to all ages shows in Victorian sweaty gymnasiums. I mean, certainly, going to some nicer clubs. Some of them are just as bad as as gymnasiums, but I have a different appreciation, and I have maybe a more critical eye towards shows now. I don't know. I still just really enjoy going and seeing music, and sometimes I feel so bad about playing my own music that going and seeing a show, no matter what it is, and just going and hearing live music instantly makes me feel better about myself and about music in general.